I don't think that's an official thing, though.
I am have heart problem. I am depression. If you have
that has nothing to do with me. That's not my problem.
So we're here to talk about a legal rent increase. I've already talked about this before, but we're going to do it again because it's my channel and that's how things are. Crap, it's hot in here. I'm a slave here. They whip us. So we're gonna run some clips here, and some of this footage is a little shady.
Okay, what's going on?
You know those hidden camera sizes. Oh yeah, what's going on? Hold on a second, I just gotta do this text message. What's that sound? Oh, that was just me going beep.
What problem? I don't think that's an official thing, though.
I am have heart problem. I am depression. If you have
that has nothing to do with me. That's not my problem.
You are responsible. Yes.
What responsibility?
I am having and anytime heart attack and.
That's not my fault, though. You can't blame that on me.
Your fault. You create the problem.
I created you having a heart attack?
Yes.
How? The human is already 1 year old, though.
If you have anytime you will create me problem, you are a troublemaker. You are a troublemaker.
I'm troublemaker.
Yes.
How?
You can break me agreement and each one thing is.
The landlord came up to me. He wanted an increase to $1,600 from $1,450. So an increase of $150. That's a 10%, 5 times over the legal limit. Just, yeah, he tries to explain it with how, oh, it's health and oh, inflation. It's like, yeah, my life sucks too. Why don't you know, rub my feet a little bit.
I give you my Ritz crackers.
Stuff on the floor. He doesn't want stuff on the floor. And technically you can't do that. You can't say, oh, you need to clean this up and all that's... See, they're allowed to inspect, but this is, I think, a level of harassment. I do feel it's in my right. We believe we can write a letter to them, to the landlord, and that's not. I don't think that's gonna work or go over that well. However, if it's not responded to, then what you can do with that is you can take that and report that to the residential tenancy branch, and then you can even fine them.
Oh, hello. I was just working on a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for one of my clients.
ਉਹ ਕਹੇ ਜਾ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਹੇ ਜਾ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਾਜੀ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਹਾਲ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਜਾਇਆ ਹੁਣ
Like telling me, for example, this stuff's on the floor. A person that lived, I guess, here before and had a bed against a wall.
Our house, this is mattress 1 year same place, but all wall is damaged.
Wall?
Yes. Wall damage. This standby mattress with wall. When you move 1 year after, our wall is dead.
Huh.
This one is stuck. When you move down is floor is damaged.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about anything. I mean, that's just part of what's going to happen when people move into a house. Their stuff is gonna, be on the floor.
There is problem.
Because, I mean, you can put beds in corners of rooms and they might touch the edge of a wall. That's not illegal. But after it moved, after being there for a year, there was some damage to the wall. Unfortunately, there are no laws against that. Like if you're smashing the wall with a hammer or an axe or something.
Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
I can see that being a problem and ground for eviction.
Right here. Tenant must vacate the premises.
But this is like the wear and tear that's going to come with it. There's things like that. You know, it's like Breaking Bad. They talk about it in a scene. I think it's...
Your half. 15K. That's what I'm talking about.
16 ounces should net to me $16,000. 16. Not 15.
Dude, it's called breakage, okay? Like Kmart, shit breaks.
You're gonna have shipping problems, you're gonna have damages, things are gonna get...
Tenants are not responsible for reasonable wear and tear from normal usage over time.
There's gonna be people that get arrested. There's gonna be problems. You're not gonna make every dollar that you can.
And you're thinking this is acceptable.
It's the cost of business. Yo.
You're going to have damages.
Wear and tear, just like down there in your underwear. Yo, it's Cardi B, my brain's the size of a pear.
You're welcome.
If they weren't totally stupid, they'd realize, oh no, we can't have our cake and eat it too. Because we do live in the eviction capital of Canada.
BC is Canada's eviction capital. The vast majority of evictions in BC, 85%, are deemed to be at no fault of the tenants. The national average is 65%. Roughly 1 in 10 households that rent in BC say they were forced to move during a recent 5-year period.
And they just want you to move off the property. I'm giving you a 10-day eviction.
A significantly higher eviction rate than any other region in Canada. That means in BC, compared with other provinces, between 2016 and 2021, tenants were far more often asked to move for reasons such as landlords needing to use the property themselves, selling it, or demolishing or renovating it.
Come on.
Cops? You call cops? I have not threatened anybody.
Most common one, we have relatives moving in. And it's a scam. I mean, the people at Residential Tenancy Branch who conduct the hearings to decide who's in the right.
Please be advised, this hearing is a legal proceeding, and the outcome of the hearing is legally binding. Recording of this hearing is prohibited without prior approval from the Residential Tenancy Branch.
When you're appealing an eviction, those people even know, and they've told me personally on the phone, how this is a common thing. Yet if you can't prove it, if they've got a better lawyer and you're running around like a dog with its head, or a chicken with its head cut off.
Come on, Buckethead.
Which I might be the kind of guy to do without the proper legal training. And they're sitting there telling me how they got to move their daughter in to my place because she needs to go to school and it's too expensive to go out to other places. But they can hire a $5,000 attorney. They've got a car for their daughter. They've got an expensive car for her. They've not only got an expensive house, they've got 2 pillars out front of their house. Jeff, Carlos, can we run a clip of that?
Dirk Allah. Muhammad Jihad. Dirka. Muhammad Jihad. Haka Sherpa. Bakala. Muhammad Jihad. Dirka. Muhammad Jihad. Oh, shit.
Evictions have long been viewed as a response to bad tenants. But more recently, attention has shifted to evictions being driven by the financialization of the housing stock.
Just move off. I think you should move.
While these
No-fault evictions
can involve evictions for genuine personal use, they are often financially motivated, caused by the landlord's belief that they can sell the property for a profit or increase the rent if they evict the tenant or renovate the unit. The average price of a home and average market rent are higher in British Columbia than any other province.
Some candy.
Average housing prices are nearly $300,000 higher than the national average, and monthly rents are $500 above the national average, providing increased incentives for landlords to evict tenants to raise rents or sell the property.
ਦੇਖਣ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ 80 ਕੁ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿਤੇ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ 5-7 ਸਾਲ ਉਹੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਲਿਖਤੀ ਹੋਵੇ I wanna give out I wanna give in This is our crime This is our sin Oh I still believe
Even if your place is messy and they would like it to be cleaner, you know, fortunately it's still an investment of theirs, this house they own. There still are certain rules that we have here, levels of freedom. Like, I was at a house before, I remember, where the landlord and their 2 kids, they had a problem with something we did, and they said it's their house. And yes, it is their house. But in terms of what we're doing on the property, I mean, as long as it isn't like smoking, if we're not allowed to smoke, and certain things that are signed in the contract, then that's still our property now. We pay for that. We have rights. They can legally come in and actually do inspections once a month. That's actually a law. They're supposed to give you written notice unless you okay it. But some of the comments we can look at here.
Your landlord is an asshole.
You see people saying this is crazy because I've lived in a lot of houses where lots of shady behavior has gone on, but nobody ever did inspections. Except for essentially at the end of the last house, and there's videos on it, We had an inspector come, I think twice, and the only reason they did that, they were trying to throw out all the weapons they could to harass me and find some reason to get me evicted.
The inspector was a handsome, well-dressed young man, probably from the Vancouver area, near the Palisades Hotel.
He's talking about his health and he needs to do the inspection. Dude, the inspection, as far as I'm concerned, like, what are you talking about the health? Like, what does the inspection have to do with health?
When you pick up stuff, down floor is there. Floor 1 year to same place is.
I don't think we've damaged anything here just by putting stuff here.
Sometimes month to month is move.
I think this is just harassment. Like, you want to like push people to get them either to leave so you can raise the price of rent, or they stay, but you got to go through with all this stuff and then you got to pay this.
I am as a man. I checked 1 year same place. This is a great problem.
Yeah.
This is shame. Stop is 1 year. No move downstairs.
Oh, okay. Don't really walk right in, please. Just stand at the door.
No cleaner. No
Yeah.
cleaner. No cleaner.
Okay. Well, he's trying really hard.
They say the toilet is too big.
Too dirty?
That is too dirty.
Well, I'll try. I don't know. I'll get it once a month, maybe.
So I will clean upstairs.
Will you clean? Can you clean our toilet?
Once a week.
Can you clean our toilet?
Yes, once a week.
Our toilet? My toilet?
Your guy. Why
my toilet?
your cleaner?
Because you're so good at it.
The breaker goes off every few days or so. I'm sick of hearing the landlord tell me.
2 years ago breaker new fix.
The landlord says at the 1st of May the agreement is up, and if I want to stay here I have to sign another $1,450 to $1,600. He says utilities are going to make up that amount. He says $1,500. I'm like, no. 2%. He says yes, 2%. I'm like, 2% is $29. He starts again with the price of groceries and gas, and I say, I'd love to be able to pay for your groceries. I really would. Landlord constantly tries to tell me not to use the heater. Landlord came here today with the official forms for rent increase.
When increase the rent?
Yes.
Well, so you have to use the official form, RTB form, T7 form, I think it's called.
No. I gave you notice.
Not official notice, no, because
the landlord has finally learned to accept the proper rent increase, but hasn't figured out how to use real official forms.
you have to use an official residential tenancy BC form. And then
BC form, I know what is the problem? Only $30. This is you.
That's a good deal. I think
That's
it's
expensive.
It's a good deal.
But you are very shit. This is shit. Not a problem.
But it's illegal. No, you have to do the file form, and then 3 months a notice.
This is problem. There's a $30. No problem. I give you $30.
You give me $30?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I will put it in my safe, in my bank account.
This is $30 is big problem.
Here,
Not big.
I'll just give you these rich crap.
Doesn't it make you feel better?
Like, okay, he understands now request for increase of rent by the 2% after trying to get it up $150. But then he's trying to do it where he's going to just write some little handwritten note, kind of like, Dear Mrs. Swanson at school there, Jimmy was sick. And by the way, can you lend him $5 for a pack of cigarettes and beef jerky? I don't know. He didn't seem to totally get, and I'm trying to be nice and talkative with him. Oh, yeah, you get the forms. Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to start a fight or nothing. Finally, he gets the forms, brings them down, and he seems to accept it. He's got to wait the 3 months. He did not want to budge on that whole 3-month wait, but, you know, he's obviously going to talk to his son because, you know, he acts like the owner of this house, but that's like a president acting like a president. I mean, this guy doesn't really own the house. He's just there for face. He just wants to look cool.
The data Jones used in the report comes from Statistics Canada's Canadian Housing Survey, which for the first time in 2021 asked respondents for the reasons their landlords asked them to move. It's the first tangible glimpse into the scope of the reasons behind evictions across the country.
Okay, was told my rent is too low, so I'm being evicted so that their son can move into the apartment.
We felt we were wrongfully evicted at that point.
Egger filed a formal complaint at the residential tenancy branch and won.
Their son just got married and is living in a new house with his wife and daughter. So there's like red flags all over this, man.
The ruling clearly lays out the new owners of the home evicted her family under false pretenses and awarded her more than $33,000, a year's worth of rent.
You gotta love BC because the price of rent jumps, you know, and the landlords, they want to get the highest price they can, but yet if they have the tenant living there, it's only a 2% increase. But if they can evict you, they can put it to whatever price they want after.
The landlord had an argument with us about the hose, about using them. Not to use the hose, even though there's an agreement to use it. They phoned the police for assault charges, and then the police...
The upstairs guy?
Yeah, then the police didn't do anything, they just laughed about that. When the police didn't work, they proceeded to call Pat to try to evict us as some form of vengeance for this.
I hate this bloody province in renting.
Landlords' use was identified as a concerning trend in Jones' report. It could be clipped if government took the same action as it did with renovations, requiring the landlord to file paperwork to prove which relative is moving in and why they need to live there.
I mean, how can you think, like, if you can't prove it, you can't prove it. But even, you gotta know that mediator guy that's conducting this, it's essentially the judge and the jury himself on the phone. These are conducted on the phone. They're not...
Quite simply, the facts of the matter are that the respondent's daughter cannot afford to move out on her own. This is sworn to in the affidavit of Jasmine Chima, as well as with their close friends. And we've attached some character affidavits that sort of discuss this. And that would include the affidavits of Rajwinder Kular, as well as Amit Kochar, as well as Irwin Gill. And the respondents, who are very generous but not wealthy people, have the limits in being able to support their daughter as well as their other children.
But they can hire a $5,000 attorney. They've got a car for their daughter. They've got an expensive car for her. They've not only got an expensive house, they've got 2 pillars out front of their house. These kind of hearings aren't the kind of thing that's happening in an actual court. Like, a lot of people say, oh, you got to go to court. Like, these people don't know how to do these types of hearings. They have no idea. But this is different. This is different than like a traditional lawsuit or civil lawsuit. This isn't marriage or trial separation. No court, no trial separation. No, you're gonna get a fucking divorce.
This data doesn't exist at the provincial level because most governments, including in BC, only track the evictions that tenants challenge, not the overall number that take place.
I feel like in these tough times with this inflation and the price of rent and gas and alcohol and food and everything, like, dude, margarine normally costs around $5 or $6 for those things at Parquet Margarine, right? All of a sudden it's like up to $8. Boom, just got some for $10. It's like what Rand Paul said, senator from Kentucky.
Free money for everyone.
Talked about how, oh, you think all those benefits that we're getting, we're not going to pay back. We're going to pay back in fine print, in small, in taxes, in gas, every little thing. And then they're going to make up stories like, oh, there were floods.
Where is he going? Is he the plumber? Is this guy the plumber?
I don't want that to just go inside.
Cobra.
A new survey of 443 evicted tenants found only 1/3 of those facing evictions filed complaints with BC's Residential Tenancy Branch for dispute resolution services for landlords and tenants. Jones' report estimated that, based on the federal data, 253,000 to 331,000 renter households containing 531,000 to 770,000 renters were evicted between April 2016 and April 2021.
Do you know where I can get any crack?
A BC breakdown wasn't provided, but this province would represent a significant portion of these numbers as it leads the nation in evictions.
Upstairs is clean. I daily clean. And
तेरा कार सब कार हाँ जी
yeah.
Okay, मेरा camera no John, just stand the door, please.
What is the problem?
Well, I just don't want people walking around in my room. I got a bit of laundry. It's okay though. There's no damage.
BC's estimated rate of 10.5% of renters being evicted over a 5-year period towers over the rates of other large provinces, such as Ontario, Quebec and Alberta.
Okay, thanks for coming down. Sorry it took so long.
There is nail. There is nail.
Yeah, there's a nail in that beer.
But no nail. This is nail. only name is driveway.
It was there already. There was a picture hanging there.
Oh yeah.
BC's housing is based so much on private landlords.
The RTB, they are overworked, they are underpaid, and they are underqualified to do some of that work. Jones' report confirmed evictions were more common with private landlords and far less common in co-ops and non-market housing. BC needs more purpose-built rental housing, something that governments have embraced in recent years, but there is a lot of catching up to do after decades of inaction.
Okay, all right. We got other stuff we can talk about. I got some disease things I gotta talk about. I gotta get going here. I hope you just subscribe. Yeah, if you look right here, you'll notice his eyes are kind of all over the place. He's clearly lying. I watched that show, The Negotiator, with Samuel L. Jackson. Can we run a clip of that, Carlos?
I'm reading your eyes. The eyes can't lie. Didn't you know what I was doing?
What do you think happened? They got this COVID, the CRB, was it COVID relief benefits, and they can't pay it back. Doomed. They're screwed. There's nothing we can do about it. Best Buy, boom, they're in it forever. All the box stores, they're in it. They're survivors. But these little businesses, gone. Bars, all kinds of restaurants. There's like a Starbucks admission that disappeared. Now it's a noodle box, but yet there's another Starbucks way over there. So, okay, Starbucks somehow. Starbucks is pretty big, so you can move them, but you can't stop them. And you'll notice at times that he seems like a nice guy in the way he talks, like the tone of voice. I'm not arguing with him. I'm trying to be nice and agreeing and just playful, playing along, even a bit of joking and stuff.
I can say that tera pag nila hai?
Nila.
Pag?
Pag
nila. Okay.
Pag nila.
The 2% of $14.50 is $29, but they've somehow rounded it up to $30. I honestly wouldn't mind paying $29. We're gonna have to talk about that. Oh, hello there. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the... Okay, we'll keep that part on. It's a little bit intimidating sitting here with a can of strawberry brisk iced tea, a microphone, and a green and orange palm tree. Aloha, awaki, awika waka. Anyway, so we just want to talk about some, Oh wait, we're not doing funny stuff? Oh, jeez. The light actually kind of blinded me. I shouldn't have looked that way.
Doesn't matter. You said 2 days they'd be here, and it's been 3 days.
I can't deal with you.
What about the mess they left on the floor?
That's okay. They're clean. Just you don't worry.
If we were to go in, what would that look like? I can have a plan on your desk by morning. Get it to me.